What's up everyone, welcome to the channel. As you may have seen from some of my other videos, through the summer months I've been running these Continental ExtremeContact, where the hell is it, sports, for summer tires, and it's gotten cold enough that now I need to take them off and swap them out. The factory size tire for the backs, well actually for the entire car for the Hellcat, for those of you who might not have Hellcats, is 275/40 20s. For the backs I actually went up to 315/35 20s. Had to run a 3mm spacer to give enough room in there, and so what I'm going to do is when I take this tire actually off the car, I'm going to check to see if there was actually any rubbing. Based on other videos and other discussions on the forums, there shouldn't have been any rubbing, but this is my first time taking these wheels off the car, so we will see whether that's actually accurate or not. So stay tuned. Alright everyone, now for the moment of truth. Will 315s with a 3mm spacer rub on the rear of a Charger? By the way, that's the spacer I used. That thing is rusted like friggin' crazy. Ain't that just lovely? I'll put a link to where that came from. Based on the way this thing looks, who knows whether you guys will want to use it. I think it was Billet Technologies that I got this from. I thought this was supposed to be billet aluminum, but the way this is rusted, who the hell knows? Maybe it's just staining from the back of the rim, who knows? But anyway, back to the part of whether it's rubbed or not. Does look like there's a little tiny bit of rubbing right on the inside of the wheel well there. You can see it's the inner front corner of where the wheel would be. I don't see any other marks. I don't think that's rubbing there. I'm not sure what that actually is there. But I don't see any rubbing in the back. I do see a bunch of burnt rubber from my failed attempt at quarter mile. That's another one of my videos is on my channel if you're interested in seeing that fiasco. But does look like for the most part there wasn't any rubbing except for that one little spot right there. As you can see, it didn't wear all the way through the plastic. I looked at the back of the tire. It doesn't look like the tire really had any major damage from that. I'm assuming that that is probably under heavy load, either weight in the car. There were several times that I had 4 people in the car, 2 adults in the back seat. Maybe it's under heavy cornering, when the car is going around, maybe the wheel starts to lean in a little bit. But anyway, it looks like for the most part a 315 with a 3mm spacer will work. If you have concerns, you could always sand that specific spot down inside the wheel well. Maybe even heat that section with a heat gun and push it out a little bit, who knows. I don't plan on doing any additional mods for that, but everything looks good in here. So there you have it, 315s on the back of a Charger, minor rubbing, and 3mm spacer. Like I said, I'll put a link to that on the in the description for the video. Okay, now to check the passenger side, see if there was any issues over here. As you can see, the spacer looks just as crappy as the other side. Again, not sure why aluminum would rust like that. I have no idea. Next year when I go to put these wheels back on, maybe I'll get a different spacer, try something else, see if I get better longevity out of the spacer. I mean, I don't know that the spacer itself is actually damaged or anything, but it does look like shit. So, as far as the wheel well itself goes, it does appear that, there's rubbing in the exact same spot as there was on the driver's side. Again, it looks very minor in nature. Let's see here. There's actually some rubber actually still stuck there from the wheel. But other than that, I don't see any other areas of concern. I don't know what that is. I don't think that that's rubbing. Not sure what that is actually. But much like the other side, a ton of burnt rubber. I see guys doing burnouts all the time on YouTube, and it just, I have no idea why. I mean, to clean this shit up is just a nightmare. So, but again, like I said, much like the driver's side, it looks like there is some rubbing right in the same spot. Again, if you were to, you know, do some work on that, heat it, push it in a little, sand it down a little, I'm sure that rubbing would go away. I'm not really concerned about it. I will be using 315s again next year when the summer rolls around. I actually might go to 315 drag radials, haven't decided yet. But anyway, there you go. If anybody was interested, at least for my specific Charger, there is a small degree of rubbing even with a 3mm spacer. One final note on the spacer. I don't know if it has to do with the amount of corrosion that's in here or what, but that thing was on there with a death grip. I mean, you can see it's got a little bit of play when it's not around the hub, but once that thing got around the hub, it was pretty solid on there. It took a thin screwdriver, a hammer, and a lot of finesse to get that thing off. Again, if you're considering doing the 315s and you're going to use a spacer, something to consider. You know, maybe, I don't know, using some kind of grease or something before you put the spacer on around the hub to keep it, you know, a little lubed around the hub there. And you know, maybe that'll help keep out some of the water and the moisture and stop some of this rust from building up. Who knows? But figured I'd let everybody know, you know, at least in my case, that spacer was on there pretty solid. Thanks for watching.